YouTube, Voice of the Voiceless here, making my first part of my day in the life video. I look like shit right now because I just got out of work. It's the name tag, and but this is just the best time to make the intro. And basically in this little clip, which it's going to be a long video, it's going to be because it's my day in the life for this ROH event I'm going to, ROH Milwaukee. It's part of their Conquest Tour at Turner Hall. The last event I went to in August was amazing. This one, even though it's not, there's not going to be big stars, like the Young Bucks are not going to be there, no AJ Styles, no Alberto Del Patron, but it's still going to be awesome. Still going to have a great time like last time, and I'm going to be more knowledgeable of the product because I went to an ROH event before, so I know what I'm expecting. So I'm just going to run down the matches, do a little preview. So matches we have just signed was since Matt Sydal, I think that's what Evan Bourne is. Yeah, Matt Sydal, he got injured. So this guy named Josh Alexander, which I don't know who he is, so it should be an interesting. He's going to be facing Michael Elgin, so that should probably be a good match. And then we have Roderick Strong, one of my favorite guys in ROH. In the indie scene, I think he's vastly underrated. He's just a great wrestler, great character guy. But Roderick Strong versus Daivari. His name is Arari Daivari. And he's most notably known as Daivari from WWE, and I think he was in TNA for a while, so that's going to be a fun match to watch. And we have this next match. I don't know if it's the specific order, but that's just what they've listed. We have Mark Briscoe versus Beer City Bruiser, which I don't know who this guy is. He was in the Prospect tournament in 2015, so I don't know. It would be an interesting match. I'm assuming the Beer City Bruiser is like he drinks a lot of beer, so the beer swilling big man is unconventional, like Mark Briscoe. So it's probably there's going to be that combination of guys. So sorry about the light. And so this should be an interesting. The match definitely won't be pretty. Next we have the new tag team of RPG Vice, which is Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta. Sorry. Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta, they're going to be facing the Decade, which is, I think it's Jimmy Jacobs and Whitmer, BJ Whitmer, so it should be an average match, so, but it'll be good. Now this is the big match. This is, I'm pretty sure it'll be the main event, but it's listed next, so it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be ACH versus Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe, rumored he's going to be signing with WWE, so these 6 events that he's doing, Milwaukee is one of them, so I'm going to be seeing Samoa Joe in action on the indie scene, possibly for the first time in a while. Well, he hasn't wrestled for ROH since 2008, but besides that, he might be signing with WWE in the next month, so that's going to be interesting. ACH, one of my favorite guys on the indie scene, so it will be awesome, this match. I love Samoa Joe, I loved him in TNA, I loved his matches against Punk in ROH, so... And it's listed as the main event. I'm not sure, but it's a Champions Challenge. It's going to be the tag team champions, Red Dragon, one of my favorite tag teams in the wrestling industry. And they're going to be facing Jay Lethal and Jay Briscoe. Jay Lethal being the television champion, and Briscoe being the world champion. So it's champion versus champions. I believe they listed this as the first time this type of match has happened in ROH since 2010, maybe. So. It was either like 2008 or 2010 or something, a long ass time, so they don't pull out this match a lot. I'm pretty sure since Jay Lethal is calling himself the real champion, counteracting to Briscoe, which he's the world champion, but Jay Briscoe is a TV champion, but he's the real champion because he's been champion for the longest time. I'm pretty sure it's going to be setting up a feud between Lethal and Briscoe, so the Jays. So, and obviously, Red Dragon being the best tag team in the world, in my opinion, it's just going to be an awesome match to watch. They're also saying Silas Young, who is from, he's built from Milwaukee, but I think he's actually from Green Bay. He's billed to make his return because he's been injured, and they're saying Matt Taven, which I'm not a huge fan of Matt Taven, but it should be a fun-ass night of wrestling, which I love ROH events. The one I went to before was awesome, so you guys are going to see a lot of the entrances, a lot of what I'm doing. But my other plan is the 3 guys that are going to be doing autographs is going to be Rocky Romero, Trent Beretta, and Samoa Joe. So it says $20 for a picture and an autograph. So I think they already have the 8x10s there. So, but it should. So I'm thinking about dropping the 20 on Samoa Joe so I can get an awesome picture with him and the autograph. So put that next to my AJ Styles autograph that I got from last time. So it's gonna be an awesome fun stuff. Just sit back, relax, see my day in the life, and we'll see you there at Turner Hall. I'm back, Voice of the Voiceless back, and you can tell it's the next morning actually after the show. My hair is really messy, but I'm still wearing the Bullet Club shirt, or to the event, and my voice is really raspy and it's dying because I had a great time at the show last night. Just an awesome show. I originally wanted to get do sort of like a day in the life and get some footage, some entrances like in my last video. If you guys haven't checked that out, but my phone was being weird. It wouldn't let me record a lot, and I was sort of doing it front, and I wasn't getting the greatest footage. So I just decided to do like an intro, like a preview, and then this for one video. So it would make a decently long video because this section is gonna be pretty lengthy. So I am back. The show was awesome. I'll just do a quick rundown of the show, what I can remember. So basically I sat the sixth row general admission, so $20. It was a $20 ticket. Awesome seats. I had perfect view of the action, so it was pretty amazing. Just the crowd in Milwaukee was awesome. A lot of people from Chicago, but Milwaukee, ROH openly says Milwaukee is one of their favorite crowds, so because it's every time they come back, the crowd just loves it, and it's awesome because people remember like what the last 2 times they came, so it was very fun. We start off with the first match, which was Daivari versus Roderick Strong. Decently popped for Daivari as he was making his return to a decently sized company, and then a huge pop for Roderick Strong. A lot of people love Roderick Strong, which I said before, I absolutely love Roderick Strong. Just a great wrestler, great in-ring performer, so it was a pretty good match between the two. I believe it ended with the Stronghold, but awesome stuff. Good way to open up the show. Next we have the return of Silas Young, who a lot of people are not really a fan of Silas Young. They don't like his gimmick. They don't like him. They sort of like that X-Pac. They don't hate him because he's a heel. They hate him because he's just not. They don't appeal. He doesn't appeal to anyone. But he absolutely appealed to the crowd in Turner Hall because he's from Milwaukee, or he's built from Milwaukee. He's from Wisconsin. So the crowd absolutely loved him. Remembered what he did last time. Last time when he faced Elgin for the world title, he called everyone in Milwaukee fat idiots, and then he said we were average, so the crowd was chanting, "We are average." So it was absolutely people just loved Silas, so he couldn't get any heat at all, no matter how much he tried. He was yelling at the crowd and telling them to shut up, and but basically he was facing, I don't even know the guy he faced, honestly. But it wasn't, what happened was he ended up using a low blow in front of the ref. He was beating the shit out of him, and he used a low blow at the end, got himself disqualified, and the crowd absolutely hated it. And then everyone's chanting bullshit. Silas got on the mic, he's like, me and the crowd will agree on one thing, is this chant. Everyone just started bullshit. So it was absolutely fun. Great to see Silas back, and then I think he ended up going on saying the crowd was fat and stupid, so people were waiting for it, but we still cheered for him because we just absolutely love Silas in Milwaukee. So that was great. And then I was trying to remember the next match. Oh shit. I can't. I'll remember it when it gets there, but the next match I remember is The Decade, which consisted of Jimmy Jacobs and BJ Whitmer versus the new team of RPG Vice, which was Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta. This was an awesome. First of all, I came in not really. I'm like, okay, what to think of this RPG Vice? I am a huge fan of Jimmy Jacobs, but RPG Vice, I'm like, they're a new team. I think that's just our ROH trying to pull together. I'm not a huge Rocky Romero fan, so, but they came out. They have their own custom, they had like this custom rap theme. I'm pretty sure Romero rapped himself. Like, it's just, there's like mentions to Chuck Taylor and the Best Friends, and it's just so funny. It's just their new RPG Vice song. If it's haven't been released on YouTube, just try to look it up. It's awesome. It's very funny. But just the match itself was just awesome. I'm not a huge, I don't like BJ Whitmer. He doesn't appeal to me in the ring. Jimmy Jacobs, totally, because he's awesome. But there's just an awesome tag team match. Great way to go out before admission. The crowd just got absolutely hot for it. I would actually say it was the second best match in the night. So it was very good stuff, in my opinion. The crowd was just so very into it. RPG Vice ended up getting the win after Beretta does that, like, sort of like he holds the guy behind him and then he sort of like slams him down and does the pin. Well, as he was doing that, Romero went off the top rope and did a drop kick to Jacobs as he was being held there. So that was a good double team maneuver. And then at the end, they were continuing that tease that Jacobs wants to turn face because he's trying to shake the hands of Romero and Beretta, but Whitmer wasn't letting him. And then they got into like a little like argument, so I think they're teasing that breakup with the Decade. So Strong's already gone, so it makes perfect sense. I'm just trying to remember that match in the middle. It's gonna kill me. Oh, I remember. The match before that was Mark Briscoe versus the Beer City Bruiser. I came in, I'm like, who's this Beer City Bruiser guy? He was absolutely dumb newcomer. He came out, I was like, alright, this guy seemed freaking awesome. He's just this big 350, 400-pound dude. Big ass dude. He came out with a fucking keg on his shoulder. And then, like, he brought the keg into the ring. Then he, like, spits out his mouthpiece into the front row. Takes a big sip of beer. Big, just swig of beer. And then he fucking spits into the front row. All the way to, like, the third row. It just showers the first 3 or 4 rows of people. It was just, like, okay, I can like this guy. Mark Briscoe, on the other hand, he's alright, but a lot of people like Mark Briscoe. So, but it was a pretty decent match for two guys who ROH that were unconventional. Beer City Bruiser, he sort of flies for a big man, so that's cool. He's very huge. But it was a pretty decent match. Briscoe ended up getting the win, and then it was funny because Milwaukee is the beer city, so people loved the Beer City Bruiser. People were just chanting beer, 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 so that was awesome. And then people just wanted to drink a beer with the guy, and I think they were saying he was at a bar after the show, so around by Turner Hall, so it wouldn't surprise me. But but it was just an awesome, not awesome, but it was a pretty good match. So Briscoe ended up getting the win, and then it was weird because I thought the Beer City Bruiser was a heel, but he ended up toasting and drinking a beer with Briscoe after the match. So it was like, okay, heel and face drinking a beer together. But then after that tag team match I mentioned before, we go into intermission, and then after intermission is the first match. Matt Taven comes out. I am not coming in. I was not a fan of Matt Taven. I thought he was boring in the ring, just decent character. I'm like, I don't care about Matt Taven. He comes out. The guy is fucking hilarious. Like, I don't know, like, I didn't know it was in him before, but this guy is just so hilarious. He comes out, apparently, 2 shows ago, he promised the crowd in Milwaukee shots if he won the match, and so the whole entire time, people cheered shots, and he's like, so, like, every time he would punch someone, shots, or every time he would do a move, shots, or, like, the 3 count was shots. Sorry about that. And but he came and was like, alright guys, so I know I promised you shots when I came back. He's like, the last time I was here, if I won, he's like, well, he's saying about all the women in Milwaukee were so ugly, that he had to drink all the shots himself or something. It was so funny. And then, like, there's this fat guy in the front row showing his tits, and then you say, like, oh, nice. He's like, your tits are bigger than Scarlett's, who was the ring announcer. So it was very funny. Just, I was very impressed by Taven. Very funny guy. Very funny character. So, but he was facing the crowd favorite Cheeseburger. And I haven't seen a Cheeseburger match yet, but I was very happy that he was on the card because I just heard great things about Cheeseburger. As he's this little scrawny guy who, the whole thing is the crowd loves him because they're waiting for him to get that win. So, just a pretty fun match. It was more comedy more than anything, and then just Taven doing some funny antics, and then he was doing some pretty big like stiff kicks and Cheeseburger making him look good. So. Taven ended up getting the win, obviously, so very funny match. People enjoyed it. It was very just fun. And then we go into the next match. Oh yeah, the next match, which is sort of a newcomer, Josh Alexander, taking on Michael Elgin. And I'm going to tell you right now, this was the match of the night. This match was freaking amazing. It was, I would rate it like 8.5 or 9 out of 10. It was just absolutely good stuff. Like, they literally beat the shit out of each other. The crowd is behind Josh Alexander. He has the headgear and the blue, so we're calling him the blue guy. Like, let's go blue guy, sort of like all blue pants, sort of has that cult in NXT. And Josh Alexander was just with the crowd the whole time. It was just awesome stuff. Just total power. There was wrestling because they're both wrestling guys. Power because they're huge and they're just beating the shit out of each other. And basically, it's just a lengthy match. For me, match of the night, just awesome shit. Hopefully, it's on ROH TV so you guys can check it out because you have to see it. The match ends with they just beat the shit out of each other so much, and Elgin hits this monster clothesline eventually after he just totally beats the shit out of him, and then gets the pin, and then they do the code of honor afterwards, and the crowd just loves Alexander and Elgin. It's just awesome stuff. So if you guys have a chance, hopefully it's on ROH TV because I would rank it as my match of the night. So Josh Alexander versus Elgin, great match. And then we go into the next match, which is probably the biggest match they build up. It was pretty much the return of Samoa Joe versus ACH. This match was very good. Obviously, for the two style clashes, ACH being a smaller high flyer guy and Joe being the bigger guy, but he could still fly around and submission based, beats the shit out of you. But it was a very good match. The crowd, obviously, Samoa Joe returning, the crowd was very into it. Still loving ACH though, and they just beat Joe just beat the shit out of ACH, and ACH was making his comebacks and just awesome stuff. Not too much high flying things from ACH, which I was sort of disappointed, but it was still a great match. They obviously told a great story with I think ACH was working on Joe's leg, and then Joe was just he was just beating the shit out of ACH. So it's just a very fun match to watch. Welcome back Joe to the ROH and the indie scene, and then Joe got the win with the Muscle Buster. So great match. And then we go into the main event, which it's the Champions Challenge, as it's the World Tag Team Champions, Red Dragon, one of my favorite tag teams in all of wrestling, versus Jay Briscoe, the World Champion, and Jay Lethal, the Television Champion, or what he calls himself, the First Generation Wrestler, Real Champion. So this was basically just a match to get over the storyline that Lethal and Briscoe are feuding, Lethal calling himself the Real Champion, and Briscoe obviously doing the same as he is the World Heavyweight Champion. So it was just a way to get themselves over, or get the storyline over. I'm pretty sure they're going to be facing each other at a future pay-per-view or iPay-per-view, so you got to get that feud down. And plus, Lethal is over as hell as a heel. Him in the House of Truth, he's just so over. Obviously, everyone loves Briscoe, and Red Dragon's awesome. So, pretty good match. It was just to get that story over, so the two couldn't, Briscoe and Lethal couldn't coexist, and then eventually it led to Lethal pissing off Briscoe, and then Briscoe, Lethal was going for like a handspring elbow, and Briscoe hit him, and then O'Reilly ended up locking in the armbar, and Lethal tapped out. So that was the end of the match. Obviously, the two couldn't coexist, so they were arguing, and they were teasing that fight. So we'll see where that leads down the road. But pretty good match. The night was just awesome stuff. I did not get a chance. The line was going out the door just to meet Samoa Joe. So I couldn't get to Samoa Joe, unfortunately. To me, the wait was way too long, and for a one picture and autograph, it wasn't really worth it to me. So, but I did get merchandise, so I'll show you right now. I got a T-shirt and 3 DVDs. This is the T-shirt, one of my favorite tag teams in all of wrestling, one of the best tag teams in all of wrestling, the Young Bucks. That awesome Guilty T-shirt. I love this T-shirt very much, and I'm going to be wearing it a lot. On the back, it just has, like, what they're guilty of, but it's like stealing the show, setting the crowd on fire, just stuff like that, because they're one of the best tag teams in all of wrestling. So, Young Bucks, awesome T-shirt, and I got 3 DVDs. I'll put them in my next DVD update, but I'll throw them to you right now. I got, for all of these are $5. They were in the $5 bin there, so I didn't have to spend too much. I got the 9th anniversary show from 2011. You can't see, the light's a little weird. And it's headlined by the Dream Tag Team match of the Briscoes versus Haas and Benjamin, the world's greatest tag team, or wrestling's greatest tag team. We have for the TV title, 2 out of 3 falls, 30-minute time limit. Christopher Daniels versus Eddie Edwards. We got the World Tag Team title match, the Kings of Wrestling versus the All Night Express. Women of Honor, Sarah Del Rey versus Mischief. For the ROH World title, no DQ Barrio Street Fight, Roderick Strong versus Homicide. El Generico versus Michael Elgin. And Davey Richards versus Colt Cabana. So that's going to be a good watch. We also have Death Before Dishonor 9. I want to say this is 9. Yeah, Death Before Dishonor 9, and it's awesome cover. This is from 2011. It's headlined by the main event, which is Ladder War 3, the Briscoes versus the All Night Express. It also has Roderick Strong versus Eddie Edwards, Haas versus Elgin, El Generico versus Jimmy Jacobs. That'll be a good match. 3-way elimination tag team, Future Shock versus the Young Bucks versus the Bravado Brothers. And Shelton Benjamin versus Mike Bennett. So that should be a really good match. I can't wait for that ladder war. And finally, I got the 11th for $5. I got the 11th anniversary show from 2013. So fairly new. You can see it better here. Fairly new show. So it's headlined by the world title match, Kevin Steen versus Jay Lethal, but also the world tag team title match, the Briscoes versus Red Dragon. That's a match I want to see. We have a world TV title match, Michael Cole versus Matt Taven. Michael Cole. Oh no. Adam Cole versus Matt Taven. Oh my god. I can't believe I did that. We hit 2 out of 3 falls, grudge match, Roderick Strong versus Michael Elgin. A Dream Tag Team match, the American Wolves versus Forever Hooligans. And then Caprice Coleman and Cedric Alexander versus Scum, which is Carino and Jimmy Jacobs. So should be a good show. I can't believe I did that Michael Cole, Adam Cole thing. But awesome shit right there. Can't wait to watch those shows, wear that t-shirt around, get some Young Bucks love. So that is all. Made this a little lengthy. I didn't want to, but I couldn't do the day in the life just because it was just very hard. I didn't want to, so it's not like that, but I couldn't with how it was filmed and my phone and shit. So sorry about that. But I think this should do good enough. So thank you guys once again. I really do appreciate you guys watching this. If you made it this far, I'll do a lot more in college, so not too much videos, but just awesome stuff.
So if you want to comment, what do you guys think of my experience? Have you gone to any ROH shows? Make sure to like, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel. So I appreciate you guys watching. So have a good one.